Hey everybody, Samson here.
My name is Hope.
And this is Charlie.
Mr. Fussy Pants.
That's right. Yeah. And today we're talking to all of you who are tempted to buy something new. We're saying, hey, before you do that, watch this first.
Yes.
Hey guys, before this episode starts, I just want to say we're still giving away 3 spots in our FPU class, which starts October 2nd. You can enter to win that simply by liking this video, sharing it, liking our Facebook page, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can do any of those 3 or do all those 3, that would be great. But just help us get the word out. Man, we really want these videos to touch and impact people's lives. And we just feel like, man, God is going to use us in such a unique way. And so help us get the word out and enjoy the video.
So this year, since we were able to pay off all of our student loans and everything but our home, we decided it was okay to go ahead and do a few projects around the house. So one of those projects was the exterior of the home, which, you know, it was really a few projects all rolled into one.
So we decided to paint the house.
Yes.
Do some new finishes around the house.
Samson made shutters for me, those cedar shutters. Oh, they're beautiful.
I did. They actually turned out way better than I thought it would. But one thing we decided to do was to refinish our deck.
Yes.
And so we had a wooden deck out in the backyard. And mind you, we because we paid off debt, we were able to actually hire a friend who's a contractor to come in and do some great work.
Thing.
Yes, it is a beautiful thing. So he got the deck done, and man, it turned out way better than we thought.
Looks fabulous.
Yes.
Shout out to Joshua Jones and Joel.
Yes, and they did a fantastic job. So as we're looking at our new deck, we're like, hey, we need to kind of fix up a few other things around this deck. And so one night we're sitting in bed together, and we got our Amazon app open and a few other things open.
Dangerous place to be.
Exactly. And we're looking for outdoor furniture to go on top of the new deck.
The new deck, because now my old furniture looks so old on the deck, and I want a new rug, I want new chairs, I want new plants and fixtures, I want it all.
Yes. And as we're doing that, I was reminded of a book that I had just finished reading at the time. It was a great book called Atomic Habits by a guy named James Clear. And so in the book, James talks about...
I have not read the book.
Hope did not read the
Every time you bring up a book, I feel like I have to let you guys know and be a little transparent that I did not read it.
That's right.
Continue, sorry.
I read the book though, which, we're one flesh.
That's right.
And if I read a book, then technically Hope read it too. But in the book, he tells a story about a guy named Diderot. Diderot was a famous French philosopher that lived in the 1700s. He was brilliant and well respected, but he was also poor. When his daughter was about to get married, he was so poor that he couldn't afford to pay for the wedding. When Catherine the Great, the Empress of Russia, heard about Diderot's financial problems, she felt compassion. She offered to buy his library for what in our day would be around $50,000. So now Diderot had a bunch of money. He got his daughter married and decided he would buy a new scarlet robe for himself while he was at it. When he looked in his closet, he noticed that all his other clothes were kind of shabby. So he decided he needed a new wardrobe to match his new robe. Pretty soon, he needed to get a new rug to go along with his new look, a new kitchen table, expensive sculptures, a new leather chair. Basically, he went straight up chip and Joe on the whole place. All because he got a new robe. James Clear says, these reactive purchases have become known as the Diderot effect. The Diderot effect states that obtaining a new possession often creates a spiral of consumption, which leads you to acquire more new things. As a result, we end up buying things that our previous selves never needed to feel happy or fulfilled. So back to us. We decided that, we were actually pretty content with what we already had. And we didn't need to add on new things in order to feel fulfilled about the new deck or anything like that.
Here's a little caveat too, is I know sometimes that one spouse can be a little bit more gung-ho on a project or an expense. Like I was a little more gung-ho on that furniture. And instead of being angry with your spouse about reining that in, maybe be grateful for them, because really, Samson was right. We didn't need all of that. And so even though it would have been, something that I would have felt like was an indulgence that would have been nice, the setup that we have now is great. And I wouldn't even think of new furniture because of what he came up with. And so try to be grateful for your spouse when they try to rein you in a little bit, because in the end, sometimes it actually works out even better.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what we ended up doing was we actually ended up putting up poles, and we're putting up
$20 at Lowe's.
Yeah, and we're putting up lights, string lights, which I think is actually kind of a cooler look anyways.
I'm happy.
Absolutely. So here's a couple of tips that will help you along this journey in spending less and buying less. Right. So the first tip is delete those shopping apps like Amazon or Etsy or whatever it is that's on the front page of your screen.
That makes it a little bit more easy to buy those items that you really might not need.
Absolutely. Or if you don't feel comfortable deleting, you can put it on the last page of your phone. So it takes you a while to find it.
Or unfollow. Like on Instagram, I've followed a bunch of people that have like these gorgeous patios, influencers. And so if you find yourself getting kind of sucked into that, just unfollow them and you don't have to pay attention to, the keeping up with the Joneses game.
Yeah. Which brings us to the second tip, which is unsubscribe from emails as well.
Yes.
Right. So there's shopping emails that come in that, tempt you to go and buy on that sale, and unsubscribe if that's what it takes. Right. And the last thing is give stuff away.
Yes.
When you give stuff away, it actually helps you appreciate what you have.
That's true.
Because you realize you can actually get by with probably what you have rather than buying something new.
Yes.
So that's it for this one.
We would love it if you guys would comment below and tell us about a time when you were tempted to go down the same path as Diderot and purchase something that you didn't need, followed by another purchase that you didn't need, followed by another purchase that you didn't need. We want to hear about it, so can't wait to hear from you guys.